Front indicators are fitted, one there, but they're not wired up because the wires are there. They won't work very well, so I've still got to do all that. Still got to route all the wires and everything. That's definitely how I'm having the switch panel thing. I've also got to put, I've got a 3D print something that I'm going to bolt on here, which is going to be a telltale thing. Number 1 for the indicators, number 2 for the headlights have got to have a telltale, you've got to have one for the main beam. So I'm just going to have a box of some kind there, I think. And also a speedo. Now the speedo itself, number 1, it's got to be fitted. Number 2, it doesn't have to work, believe it or not, because that's not part of the test. But number 3, it has to say either kilometres an hour or miles per hour. It's up to you. It doesn't matter, because if it doesn't work, it doesn't matter at all. If you get a speedo with nothing on it whatsoever, or it says miles an hour and you want kilometres an hour, all you do is you write it on there with indelible marker. That's satisfactory, apparently. So, what else? Anything with white cable ties, it's just temporary because I've got a shitload of them. Obviously the brake hose has got to be routed, all this wiring's got to be done. There's quite a lot of wiring. I've still got to sort the mounting out, although I've done the back piece, as you can see. That all it is just like it's like a step that goes around the frame, and then the battery sits on a piece of it, and there's a piece on the back that just stops it from moving backwards at all. It won't go anywhere. I'm just reprinting the front one because it didn't work out very well, as usual. Rear mudguard, I've just placed it on there because I need to figure out how the hell I'm going to do it, and also how the hell I'm going to mount a number plate on this thing because there's just no room. That's going to be challenging. Now, to get the battery off, if you look at that, you can see that the seat is actually over the battery. All I do, undo the clip, turn the saddle to one side, plenty of clearance. So that's all I need to do. Just have to remember to clamp it back up when I get back home, because otherwise I'll be riding the bike side saddle, won't I? So it's coming together. It is slow because there's loads of things that I have to design. Oh, incidentally, I've moved the battery further forward, so that's fine. Another part of the MSVA is to make sure that nothing fouls the steering when it's on full lock either side. Now, with the battery the way it is, you can see that that actually fouls on there. So, I'm being cunning. The front battery mounting, or the front battery support, I suppose, sits here, and it goes underneath the battery, and there's going to be a step so as it can't go any further forward, you know what I mean, like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to print it so as it comes out to here, so as the steering will only go to about there, and there's plenty of clearance. It's a cunning plan and it'll work. So it's getting there slowly. I'm just waiting for the front piece, the front support to print, then I can put that on. Then I can cut the down pieces to length. I've decided with this piece here, I'm going to have a tool holder of some kind, sorts, and this piece here, I'm going to mount Velcro on it. Now the Velcro that I use is industrial grade 3M Velcro. It's not the usual sort of hook and loop stuff, it's just hook. I don't know. I don't know what it's called. It's bloody strong. So I'm going to 3D print some stuff that comes up to here, and then it goes up to the front there, and it'll fill that hole, in theory anyway, so the battery will just slot down over the behind it. And I'm going to have compartments in there to put things like a tool. I'm going to put a tool in it. I'm going to put tools in it. I'm going to put a puncture repair kit, pump and everything else that I need. Or what have I got? I've got a CO2 pump, so I can put it in there. I've got these two tail lights. I originally bought this one, which is humongous, and I can't use it. It's just way too big. Although it does conform, it is actually E-marked, which I don't know if you can see it. It is actually E-marked in the glass. It probably doesn't conform, but it's E-marked. Apparently that's all they're bothered about. As long as they see an E-mark on items, then they're not really bothered. And then I saw this one, which is much smaller, much better. And it was listed as E-marked. So I bought it, and it was only £6.50, I think. Well, if you look on the, well, you can't see it, there's nothing, there's no E-mark on it whatsoever. So I sent a message to him. It was on eBay, UK as well, and I sent a message to him saying it's not as described, blah blah blah, there's no E-mark on it. And they said, what if we give you £2.50 refund and you can dispose of it? What? Cost me £6.50 and they wanted to give me £2.50 refund so I can throw it in the bloody bin. So I said no, and they give me a full refund, and then they said throw it in the bin anyway. Got that. I've got a horn. I've got two horns actually. These are around, I think they were £4 each. This is the one I'm going to be using because it's just a standard traditional horn. I don't know why I bought this. I think I was turning gay at the time or something. I haven't got a clue. So I've got a horn. Not the horn, a horn. These are the indicators. These came from a UK supplier as well, although they're actually made in China. And if I can open them. You can see on there it's got an E, I don't know what it is. Can you see it? So they're E-marked, that's all I'm concerned about. They're probably not right, but they're E-marked. That's all they're concerned about, is seeing a letter E on them, believe it or not. Apparently anyway. So there's that, I've got that. Here's my headlight, which is a 7-inch headlight. It's all I could get. No, it's not. It's the only one I could find that is actually E-marked, which is, you can see it on the top there. Oh, look at that. Anyway, it's a glass. It is glass. This was it cost me £70, believe it or not, just for the bloody headlight. It's got a halo effect around it, it's got a low beam, main beam and everything. The only trouble is there's no mounting for it, and apparently the mounting is the same price as the headlight, which is £70. So what I've done, I've been very cunning, which hasn't turned up yet. I've bought a cheap ass, crappy 7-inch headlight for about £5. So hopefully the surround will actually fit. It looks like it'll fit anyway. While I think about it, this is a box of shit basically, so that don't fit around there. This is a box of shit because it was a headlight that I bought, and they said it got low beam, main beam and everything else, and I bought this about 3 months ago and I never bothered with it. The way that they describe these things, I mean, I don't even know if there was an E-marking on it. I don't think there was an E-marking. I just bought it for a headlight. I never intended to do anything with it. No, it just says top. Oh God. So anyway, what this is, when you turn it on, the main beam, as they call it, is just the LEDs get brighter. There is no dip and main beam. It's just brightness. That's all it is. So I never bothered with it. But unfortunately, this is, I think it's a 5-inch. Is it 5? Tape measure. 6. So this is only 6, which is not quite big enough for that, so it's a bit unfortunate. What a bag of shit that is. Total waste of money. I've also got in here 12 volt 10 amp, but that's only 72 volts. I think the other one I've got is 108 volts, but that is a 10 amp. The other one's a 20 amp. I've also got some strobe lights, which are, oh, there they are. I was looking for these. These are red, well, they're red strobe lights. All you do is you bang 12 volts into them and they strobe. And they were ridiculously cheap, they were. So that's the state of play. I'm going to chuck that. Bag of shit. Oh. I know I bought one of them. I wonder where that was. I might use that. I'm mocking everything up. Fuck. I'm mocking everything up. One thing I've learnt is never cut wires to length, because you're always going to move them. So always, see, I've got all this bloody 6 gauge wire. I'm not going to cut it because the wires, I don't know where they're going to come out yet. Now, the one thing that I've got to do with this is I'm going to have to route all the wires, then I'm going to have to take them all off, then I've got to wrap them in whatever, don't know yet, and then I've got to attach them all again. So all this, I might need it, you never know. Well, no, I'm not, but the first bit of wiring's done. So I've got to get all those wires, and I've got to feed them all through somewhere, and I've got to route them all, and then I'm going to get and then I've got to connect them. Oh yeah, the brake cable. The brake cable, the hydraulic hose brake thing goes underneath the Sabvaton. That thing ain't going to get hot. I'm not going to be pulling. I think fucking bollocks and shitting. I'm not going to be pulling that many amps continuous. I think it's probably only about an average of probably about 50, maybe 60 amps. So it's not even going to stress that bloody thing, and it's not going to get warm. I hope anyway. It better not do. Oh, front mud guards on. So it's a bit random, wasn't it? Oh, fucking arse biscuits. As I've already mentioned, this is the indicator, horn and headlight, main beam, whatever switch thing. Now, before anybody thinks it and say, why didn't you try this? Why haven't you tried full-blown motorbike things? You haven't tried this, you haven't tried that. I have. I think I've tried a few. There you go. And not one of them fits. These are the expensive ones that I bought. If I had that on there, which is going to be, yeah, it's going to be this side. If I had that on there, the brake lever won't pull, so I can't use that. I can't put it that side of the brake lever because it won't fit on this bit here. So I can't use that. I can't use any of them all for that same reason, is they don't fit in certain circumstances. That one don't. That one, I can't remember what was wrong with that one. There was something wrong with it. I don't know. I might revisit them. I might have a look again. I don't know. I'm a bit annoyed because obviously I've got a lot of them to use and I've never used any of them. I'm going to use another one of these for the hazard warning lights, I think. Over 3 position hazard self-destruct. Yeah.